Do we? This is a interesting series here. Reason Gaming, they're coming off a pretty decisive 2-0 victory over another qualifying team in Chopstick Gaming. And now they get a matchup against the Revolution, who ultimately was the third team to qualify. So, you figure you'd be pretty scared for Revolution, but I don't know, something just about this team that I think could catch Reason off guard. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yes, me too. They have already made sure to ban out every single odd carry hero. No, but they blind banned Ravenor and the Clanks. No, wait, that was the Helper team. They banned the Tremble and Ravenor.
Yeah.
Yes, and then they followed it up with the Artillery and the Shadow Blade in the second blinding,
Artillery,
or
yeah.
in the second banding phase. Yeah, so that's why you can see Pink here fighting a little bit, and All Shad being a little bit upset. Because Recent Gaming is taking away all his heroes. But hey, game continues, and looks like there is going to be an action-packed one, because look at both teams' lineup. Like, they just scream aggression, both of them. Legion team got a Doctor Repulsor, Nymphora, Pebbles, and of course the Battle Cry assisting from Warbeast also helps with that offensive.
Yeah.
And the Hellborn team, of course, Magnus, Parasite, and Mora, that doesn't necessarily back down by enemies. We see Tundra! Haven't seen it in so long, and I love this hero.
If there's a team that's going to do it, it's going to be Revolution, baby. These guys love to just do different things. But they also have the Parasite Tundra combination, really worth pointing out here. That is a deadly combo. We've seen that back. It's been a while now, but we definitely, I can remember at least, and I would assume others would, that's definitely a combo to be a little bit worrisome of. Now, also going up against an Nymphora, we constantly consider a Tundra to be a very good counter against her, to an extent at least. So, I like it. I like it here.
I do too. Tundra was buffed not too long ago. And maybe not too significantly, but it made the scaling a little bit better on all of his spells. Call of Winter, especially, like the bird range and the movement speed and all that on that. So he has more of a presence early game as well. So it's going to be really interesting to see how they play this one out. I would assume that he's going to be played in the mid, but going up versus a Pebbles plus a Nymphora as a melee hero, that's a little bit scary, especially if you don't have that escape mechanism. Of course, you could cold shower to your own creeps and try to get away, but that's such a risky. It works better on paper than in practice as well, so I'm not entirely sure. Maybe it could be a Tundra suicide. I mean, Revolution has been running a lot of melee suicides lately in that Miraxus, so potentially this could be the Tundra instead.
Yeah. Yeah, that's going to be excited to see where he ends up here on the Tundra for sure. So the final pick for Reason Gaming, they got the Doctor for him, but boy, Warbeast, actually, I wonder, is that Warbeast going to be a jungle? Or is it... Wow! Okay. Now I just got a little even more excited. Wild Soul.
And the Warbeast on the same team. Have we ever seen that?
I don't know if we have, to be honest. You're right. That's actually crazy in itself. But let's just focus. I mean, Wild Soul. This is the first time we've seen him in a long time, and he just became eligible again. And this is a completely different Wild Soul than before. Kinda. I mean, it's still there are some similarities, of course, but it's a lot of differences.
It's the Wolf's Army. Does the battle cry work on Boo Boo? Yeah, it does.
Of course.
So,
yeah.
Just send Boo Boo in, let him do the work, and have a annihilation for Boo Boo. 6-slotted Boo Boo. Oh, damn. This is going to be an interesting one. But, I mean, Wild Soul, I mean, he used to be that kind of passive hero that you wanted to have, like, in the Suicide Lane, and you just wanted to try to get as much gold as possible during the laning phase and then build that up into the Mock of Brilliance. But that's not really the case anymore. Mock of Brilliance has more or less died off. Now it's more of those build-up items, the aura items, because, of course, you can farm even without Mock of Brilliance now with that new Boo Boo ability, the Swipe, I think it's called.
Yeah.
And it can also successfully outbox enemy forced heroes, such as the Parasite. So if Parasite were to man up, I mean, Wild Soul could easily deal with him.
That is very true. And we were actually talking about it yesterday on the podcast as, again, one of the newer heroes on the scene. And people expected to maybe see him a little bit, but they also said expect to see him more of a suicide, which I found very interesting. And I'm wondering, okay, no, it is going to be a jungler here, though, because, yeah, Tankafed readying up on it. And they will have Warbeast in the Suicide. And that's what I was thinking about, too, kind of trying to find the logic here for the Wild Soul. And as you were talking about, in a Parasite matchup, he can obviously do pretty well against him. in the jungle has a good way to box him out. So I wonder if they figure maybe Warbeast could have been a little scared about the Parasite where he can get his Hellhounds taken away, and that got some issues. So maybe they just decided to change it up like that. But, man, I'm excited to see this Wild Soul.
Then we got Silo as his last pick as well. I'm a little bit worried for the team fight potential, though, for the Hellborn team. Doesn't feel as strong as for the Legion side, or especially the late game as well. Like, if the Legion team makes it into the late game, like a Doctor Repulsor, a Wild Soul, and a Warbeast, that's a lot of damage. That's a lot of scary carries. So the Hellborn team, I mean, sure, they got a window, but they're really going to have to make something happen during the laning phase and through the mid game. Otherwise, they're going to be in deep trouble.
Yeah, this is a very greedy team for sure. This reminds me of Reason Gaming old school. Honestly, it was like a team that you kind of expect to be a little more. I mean, it's at the same time it's a funky mix because they have a Nymphora Pebble. So it's like here they are with a Wild Soul and a Warbeast, two heroes that are going to need a lot of time to really farm it up. You'd figure, and at the same time they have a Pebbles and Nymphora with also a Doctor for that matter. So yeah, this really is a funky lineup of sorts.
There is a really nice synergy, though, between the Hellhounds when they reach level 4 and get that invisibility and the Nymphora port to set up kills. I remember Sync using that during Hunter Season 3, actually. One of the later cycles. I think it was the Cycle 8, actually. They ran it, and I was really impressed by their execution, and hopefully Recent Gaming is going to perform just as well with it.
Yeah, I kind of have to remind myself, too, as far as the changes to Wild Soul now that we are going to start seeing him again. And getting used to the hero, but yeah, definitely Tank of Fed, I'm sure, has played the new Wild Soul plenty enough to feel comfortable to pick it up here. Again, they will swept their first series, 2-0 over Chopstick, so a great start, 3 points here. Looking to continue that momentum on day number 1.
Even if he hadn't played it too much, I mean, I don't think it's too much of a deal, or not too big of a deal for him at least. I mean, he is more than comfortable with microing the creeps as an Ophelia player. So now it's more like just send Boo Boo in, press that Q ability, and swipe them off their feet.
Yeah. So, it's in a pause here. Hopefully not much longer. You got the Revolution is the one that paused it. I wouldn't be surprised if most of this, really, all of it is kind of a strat pause. Technically only have a couple more minutes longer in the stream especially, so I want to make sure not to wait too long here. But, you know, really, they're probably, I would assume they might be a little thrown off by that Wild Soul final pick especially, and what to expect out of it and how that's going to match up here.
It's going to be so tough for Hellborn team to deal or to bring him down, if he gets some items at least.
Yeah.
I guess in that bear form, like, you're going to need negative armor in some way. Like, I've seen a lot of lodestone counters towards Wild Soul lately, or at least in the scrims, like, just because of that Shatterstorm ability, so that you can actually burst down Wild Soul and get through the armor. But in this game in particular, like, there isn't really any minus armor whatsoever from the Hellborn heroes, so it's going to be really troublesome for them.
Yeah, I'm looking at the silhouette pick, and I was going to say, I wonder if that's kind of why they picked up her. Maybe not necessarily a hero that has minus armor built on her, but something like a shield breaker couldn't be out of the question on her. But, oh yeah, we'll see how much value they put into getting, say, the minus
I mean, she's still very dependent on that physical damage, so I don't think that, or like, even if she gets a shield breaker level 3, I don't think that she's necessarily going to be able to do too much versus the Wild Soul. Obviously, it's going to help a lot, but the Hellborn team is still going to have to invest so much into bringing that hero down, unless they get a really big lead.
All right, so as far as the lanes go, though, again, the Tundra, though, definitely excited to see the Tundra. It really is. But one of the things that we constantly go back to with Tundra is, I still think it's safe to say to this day, like, he's one of the highest skill cap heroes in the game because of the power of that Shiver and utilizing it to its fullest. I mean, there's not many things more important than map control, map vision, really. And obviously Tundra is fantastic with that, or has potential at least, with the Shiver. So we'll keep an eye on STST as much as we can and how he's keeping up with the Shiver throughout this game. Very important, especially against an Nymphora. How much they can deal with that here.
I feel a bit of concern for the Helmut lineup still. Like the more I look at it, like the synergy isn't really there for their part. Like having the Tundra in the mid, or when you have the Moira and the Parasite, you usually want to be aggressive and set up kills. But with the Tundra in the mid, you're not really going to be able to do so. Like there's nobody to initiate and set it up. Like if you were to have the Magus in the mid lane instead of the Tundra, then it would have been much more likely for them to actually get kills on the Pebbles. But now, like the illusion, they're going to see it coming. Parasite is going to have to be really lucky with her creep spawns if he's going to be able to find anything at all. So, yeah, a little bit curious yet to see why we see Tundra in this game. It doesn't really feel like... I mean, it's good versus the Nifora port, of course, but other than that, it doesn't really go too well with other heroes.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. That's why, right? It's like they picked it up right after the Nifora happened, and we know that for I was gonna say Chill for some reason, but yeah, he doesn't play for a reason. But Starzer is actually playing it here. Actually, Tankafet has history playing it, honestly, for a reason. But again, he's playing the Wild Soul this game, of course, and Starzer ends up being out there. But clearly they value it enough, even though not necessarily the most synergy with the team, perhaps. But I don't know, though. I don't know. I don't know why you feel that way, to be honest, because it's like the Parasite Tundra combo in itself is obviously very strong, and this generally is just kind of a really aggressive team. So doesn't he kind of fit that playstyle?
I mean, they are not going to be able to bring the pressure early on, though, and that's the main concern. I feel like if recent gaming actually gets their core items, then they're going to be more than happy with that and is going to be able to play out of experience. I feel like they had to make something happen during the laning phase with the Parasite, and more are roaming around, but that's obviously not going to be the case. And look at this, Tankafet doing an excellent job actually blocking the hard camp here for Parasite, so he's not even going to be able to find a creep. And he went for Marchers in his defensive forest, so that's going to slow down his farm a little bit more. Now he's going to file Wild Hunters here as well, which isn't really an optimal creep at all to be farming with. He's still going to take it over, because guess what? The left side, the hard camp, it's blocked by Word of Sight.
Yeah. Yeah, Tundra is going to have a tough time here, and actually, you see, already feeling quite a bit of pressure, and going to fall back from eventual possible kill, but M4 is going to continue to box him out a little bit. Dodges the back end of the deal, so pretty good there. Top lane, though, Warbeast is going to get the pull off with the Hellhounds. We'll see how far he gets the Parasite nearby. Not going to infest one. Going to try to kill one, maybe infest the other, but that's not going to happen either. So Zane going to be successful with that. And we'll pull away here. Tundra, ooh, that was close. In fact, he goes back on him for before falling back there. So feeling pretty good right now. But as he probably around level 3 or so, he's going to start getting a little more worrisome as far as kill potential goes. By the way, I want to reiterate something. I know something being brought up in chat about the site and information on the site. Unfortunately, the standings aren't actually on the site just yet. They'll be up I'm told by Monday actually. It's when the actual standings and updates on the scores and everything should be on the site. So do apologize for that, but for the time being, check it out here on Honcast. We're going to keep you updated as much as we can, obviously, and how things are looking so far. But come Monday, you should be able to start seeing the actual standings and how all that looks. I guess we're having an issue with the site in that sense. But anyways, there you go. Yeah, back to this game, though. Seems like the lanes that you would expect to do well are doing well, of course. Silhouette up top there.
I'm not sure if they're doing too well. 200 gold per minute compared to the Doctor, who's 300 gold per minute. Yeah. And that's a solo Doctor versus the Hellborn team, who has a dual lane Silhouette.
I guess the Warbeast, though, is that obviously what's causing the issue there.
Yep, combined with the Wild Soul in the start. Lane. But hey!
N4 in trouble here. Is she going to die? She is. STST picks up the Bloodlust. Moira assisting with Parasite for that Bloodlust kill. That's a big start, necessary start for Revolution here.
That it is. Great kill. They needed that badly. They needed to get some momentum here. Tundra still struggling. Actually, he's going to get his bottle already delivered, so he's actually doing much better than I thought. That's not too bad at all. Doing a good job, and he doesn't even have a longest hatchet, so I'm surprised that he managed to get all those kills.
We see the Shiver coming out, so I was going to start using that to its effectiveness. For now, probably more so rune control.
Yeah, unfortunately, it doesn't block camps anymore,
no.
As it did once in a time. That was the main reason for why Tundra was popular back in the days. Actually, top lane, no, they're not going to be able to get the stun connecting. He's going to head bottom with a shipper just for fun.
Yeah. Get some, I don't know exactly what that's really going to accomplish there.
He's sitting back now.
A little careful with it to get it killed. Obviously, it's a nice little bounty that they get out of it. So you don't want to necessarily.
It's always
feed
good
it.
with exercise as well. Running between the lanes. Or flying in this case.
That's true, yeah. Refreshment rune bottom. The real rune's going to be top. It's going to be haste rune. Actually, Tundra's going to get it. So this continuing good start will continue here.
Yeah, Tundra is having awesome farm.
Bottom.
Like 320.
Dr. Repulse is going to fall here. He might get the turn kill. He will not. Not enough damage. Parasite. Safe to say, he's doing his job early on, roaming around. Look at Wild Soul. Boo Boo's chasing after. He gets tunnel. Boo Boo dies. And now Wild Soul's in trouble. One more auto attack. Down goes Wild Soul. And Pexu is the early MVP for Revolution here. Been involved in all 3 kills.
He took damage from the
Boo Boo.
Yeah, exactly. Going down. He did not expect that kind of burst, and down he goes. Well played by Helbron team. They're actually making the kills happening. Even though had a relatively passive mid hero, they're making the kills happen and looking really good for them so far. Warpus is level 5 though at the top lane. Silhouette is still having a little bit of struggles. She's up to 330 gold per minute now though, so she's recovered well.
Yeah, the pulling
I'm
of
not
the
sure if you can
Warbies.
call it recover, but she's doing well at the lane at least now.
Yeah, I was going to say, I mean, it's whenever you have a Warby, especially a good one like Zane, he knows what he's doing, ideally that will be a slower start. But as middle lane actually, Pebbles, look at the sidestep on the Zeal Stone from Tundra. That was beautiful. He did not use his ulti, though, in time. And I think that's because he knew he had to sidestep the Zeal Stun. So he was really trying to time it right there. I mean, so that was a good heads up by SDST, but definitely unfortunate coming up shy of a kill. And, well, he has a cooldown at least still, so that's the good news there. But, yeah, just to see Silhouette recover, though, as this laning phase picks up here, definitely, I can't say I'm too over-the-top surprised, but still good news. But you do see the lane is going to be pushed up here once again, so going to continue to cause some issues. And actually, no, those are just the Hellhounds coming in. He should be fine. But how about Wild Soul, though? Now, his death obviously will hurt him a bit. Up until that point, and even still after the death, he's actually doing pretty good. I mean, he's level 6 here, and he has 266 gold per minute, so he is shaped. I'm very intrigued, though, to see this build, both items as well as skill build. That's, the middle lane. Tundra's going to be pulled in right here. Shards are hard con. Nice disjoint with the ludicrous speed, though, and Imba Boy gets a kill. Avalanche coming out. Really unnecessary, though. He ends up falling anyways. Good game
Nice. Yeah, nice rotation from Imba picking up that invisibility rune. That's when the Shiver should have been in position at the bot rune to scout out that invisibility rune. It was there at the 4-minute mark, but unfortunately not at the 6-minute mark. Yeah, Tankafet as well. Yeah, level 7 now. He is got his spear from now, so he got his second swipe here. Gonna go put a little bit of pressure onto Magnus, who's gonna have to retreat back. But overall picture, I mean, I feel like the Hellborn team is still doing better than I expected them to do during the laning phase. I feel like the Parasite has been able to create something out of nothing. I mean, he had a lot of creep or spawns blocked on, but he's still been making the right rotations and getting the kills for his teammates. And I remember that from the qualifiers as well. Pexu ran a very impressive Parasite who ended up at 400 gold per minute at like a 1-hour mark game.
Yeah. I'm looking at this bottom lane, by the way. Oh, swipe misses, and yet Magnus will get the kill. The top lane, they got the kill to Silhouette, but I was watching this exchange back and forth bottom lane. Magnus and Wild Soul going at it. Meanwhile, middle lane, it continues. As Dem4 is going to be picked off. Pebbles, though, he has a... No, he doesn't have a Chuck. The Mana Center causing issues there. He's going to fall back. Parasite running in. Couldn't get there in time, though. All 3 lanes having a bit of action there, and big picture, I think the Hellborn team may be coming out on top to an extent. They did lose Silhouette, but they got a Wild Soul and an Amphora out of it right there. So, but Wild Soul, Tankafet, he keeps getting caught just enough. And I don't know if that's because Revolution's comfortable against playing against the Wild Soul, or Tankafet maybe underestimating, his tankiness on the hero or whatever. But they've happened to pick him off twice now.
Yeah, it's probably a little bit of both, or at least it feels that way. Because the first one was definitely an underestimation from Tankafet when he was over at the lane and just got picked up by the Magnus and the Parasite. But the second one I didn't happen, or I didn't catch, so can't say for sure. But yeah, I mean, he picked up the Ghost March just now, and even with the 2 deaths, I mean, he's still doing okay. Not as well as you would have wanted him to do, but they got a lot to fall back on. They got 3 heroes now, almost 3 heroes with 300 gold per minute.
Well, this goes back to the lineup, though, of reason, and how it's a very greedy lineup. I mean, really, 4 to the 5 heroes. I mean, they want some kind of good farm early on, especially, and 3 to the 5 throughout most of the game. As actually middle lane, Tundra Doctor flies in. Imboboy, I gotta say, he's playing just a massive roamer early on. He ganked middle, then he ganked top, and now he ganked middle again. So Imboboy just being aggressive. He kind of gave up the bottom lane. What do we think about that? As top
I think that
tower
comes
goes
back
down.
to what you were saying. I mean, the fact that they have such a greedy lineup. So Imboboy is just like, hey, I'm gonna let Tankafet farm it instead. I mean, it might be a little bit too early for it because he can still be in the forest. But as long as he finds the kills, it's definitely the right decision.
That's the
I
thing.
mean, Sandra doesn't have the escape, so
Yeah. That's the thing. It's like he's getting kills with it, so it's hard to argue that it's a poor decision by any means.
oh,
but-
Tankafet once more at the bottom.
Oh my god, he's going at it right here with Magnus. The swipe is going to be enough with Imboboy, and Imboboy coming in gets the double tap actually on a Parasite in the end. Meanwhile, middle lane, the action continues. They get the turn kill onto STST. So Reason Gaming, that's a big push of momentum right there. Ultimately a 3-for-0 exchange, but I gotta say this roaming Dr. Imboboy has no doubt been doing wonders here for the Legion side.
Imboboy is doing everything right, it seems. That poured in at the bot as well, saving Tankafet once more and getting a double kill. Like, if Nymphora hits level 6 now, which I'm sure she will in the near future, then it's going to be so scary. Especially since Silhouette hasn't even finished her Nullstone. I mean, she's doing a good job, 400 gold per minute, but she's still, like, far away from it. Or relatively far away. I would assume that she doesn't have... Yeah, she's just picked up the Sustainer, so... Still got quite some time to go before she can pick up the Nullstone, and up until that point, I mean, 1 in 4 port with the Dr. Repulsor, and she is dead.
Yeah. I mean, this is... I find this is just crazy how the GPM chart right now, it's ridiculous how it's a greedy lineup of Reason, yet everyone is doing well, if not very good, especially the Pebbles, who happens to be doing very good. And it's not like that the Hellborn team is just getting dominated, because, you know, Silhouette's up there, second in farm in terms of the game, actually. Magnus and Parasite and even Tundra aren't doing horrible. They're all doing solid themselves. They're just a little bit under as far as what the others are doing, and it just that's, I think, to the credit though of Reason, how they've really done a great job of managing farm throughout all these heroes, making sure they're getting it. And Veiled, yeah,
Doing it up, Veiled Rod, yeah, it's going to be deactivated by the Illusions. That was well played by Doctor, though. I'm not sure if she knew that Magnus was using the Veiled Rod, but she was using the Illusions as a scouting tool at least. So well played by him, definitely. And now we got Pebbles with his portal key. It's going to be delivered here in the near future, and Imboboy picks up the glowstone. Nymphora just hits level 6 as well, so I assume the Silhouette can expect a visit here in the near future from this Pebbles Nymphora combo.
Bottom lane, Magnus going to be jumped. REVO goes down. He does get the Lava Surge off, though, and actually will survive from that. So good job by Magnus. Mora was coming in as well as a just in case. So Silhouette.
Parasite is here as well.
Is he? Oh, yeah, flanking here. And actually, Tundra also here, so they want to make a move, but Magnus and Moira not really there anymore. In fact, there's the avalanche onto Dr. Repulsor, gets the kill. And now it's Tundra versus this Wildstar right here. Moira Illusion coming in. Pebbles, though, with Nymphora using the portal key to get the pick off on a Parasite. The fight continues. Magnus got the eruption off. Not enough for the kill, though. Another swipe attack gets the kill to Magnus. Tundra,
so
chuck in the air. He
tanky!
goes down. Finally, they get the kill to Wildstar, but it comes at a cost right there. Although Silhouette joins the party now with Moira. Silhouette looking to finish off Nymphora will do so, but now she's on the run as Moira goes down. And now it's Pebbles and Warbeast versus the Silhouette. Pebbles doesn't have mana for much else. Using the power supply there.
Well, he does. He can take the refreshment rune, and then he's going to have mana.
Ninja's in front of her, but still not enough to make anything happen out of it, really. But big picture, definitely another 1-5 for Reason Gaming right there.
Yeah, even if they were to trade equally, I mean, it would definitely favor Reason Gaming at this point. They got a late game. They are more than confident taking this into the later stages. While the Hellborn team desperately needs to make something happen, and they've been doing a good job roaming around. It's just that Reason Gaming is on top of it.
13 minutes in right now. Silhouette, again, just trying to continue to get any kind of farm she can score. Getting involved at the bottom lane right there. But 390 gold per minute, heading back towards top. So, again, the GPM, it's actually still doing pretty solid. But unfortunately for her, the other team just doing a lot better. And you see Macera here. He's looking for more. He's going to find somebody.
Metamorphosis is up yet for Warbeast. It's 10 seconds, so he's not going to be able to assist too much, and I don't think he can get solo kill. But if he finds Silhouette...
Oh, no, they have this. Nymphora's coming in. Yeah, Mora's here as well. Ends up being an easy kill. The Arcane Vortex just too late. However, Silhouette running in. Needs to be a little careful not to go too YOLO right here. Splits up. Warbeast joining the party. Look at the damage on Silhouette. Having to fall back. Warbeast chasing. She has to swap. She can't. She's dead. Yeah, she got a little too comfortable there. Swapping in, or going in even. As the Legion side, they all come together, the tower goes down. It is insane how much gold is in this game right now. That's being farmed. The efficiency is probably ridiculous.
Suicide war based as well, sitting on 440 gold per minute.
Yeah.
And the action just continues. Like, they have 4 late game heroes, more or less, or 3 late game heroes, and a very greedy support, but they're already pushing a tier 2 tower 40 minutes in.
I mean, this is one of the few times we've seen such a greedy lineup with how many heroes need farm. Actually, everyone get farm somehow. But again, Reason managed it from roaming around, leaving your lane to, I mean, it worked. Warby's even at the top lane. That's what I guess I'm most surprised about, right? It's how the hell did he get his farm is beyond me. But I guess maybe he just pressed W when his teammates got kills. And
Yeah, Silhouette is so weak versus the Warbeast. I mean, if you get some levels on Warbeast, which you will in this lineup, seeing as Wild Soul helped you with the pulls as well in the start, just blocking the Parasite creeps as well, preventing the Hellhound team from putting pressure on the Warbeast in the first levels. So Warbeast got some levels, then he just gets the Hellhounds leveled up, and he puts them on Silhouette, who's super squishy. You know, with those Ghost Marchers, he literally can do nothing but run when he puts them on her.
Yeah.
So then he can just safely last it for the full duration of the Hellhounds.
interesting, too. So much going on in this game, but kind of relate to Wild Soul and what he's been doing here. And from what I've been told, actually, apparently buffing up Wild Soul is the way to go now with this new style of Wild Soul here. Just getting farm on him and the Wild Soul hero himself, that is, and not Boo Boo. So you put items on Wild Soul and get Boo Boo maybe boots early on, but that's it. So kind of find that interesting, but actually we kind of see here he has the Steam boots. Now he has a Ring of the Teacher on him. He does have Ghost Marches, of course, on Boo Boo, but that really is it, other than, well, the hatchet and the buckler here. But I mean, do you know much about that? Do you have insight on that, or?
It's more mixed now than it was before. I'm not a Wild Zone player myself, but yeah, it's because of the bear form. Back in the days, you usually wanted to stay in that ranged form. And Boo Boo was simply just stronger, but now it's more that united form. You know, you get reduced damage taken when in Boo Boo form or in bear form.
Yeah.
So therefore you're going to have much better survivability, and therefore you put items on yourself.
Gotcha. Boo Boo taking some good damage right there. You see Silhouette doing plenty. Leech comes out, trying to kill Boo Boo, but can't do so. And that life steal's going to start kicking in, remember. With the new Naturals Attunement. Naturals Attunement? Yeah, that thing.
This freaking new bear, though, it's such a freaking beast, like, if you look at it. Like, red eyes, red claws.
It's scary, man. Oh, here we go, though. Pebble's going to be jumped with the initiation right here for the Hellmore side. They get the burst, but at what cost here now? Matt is getting pulled in. Going to hide to the Steam Bat, though. They don't have vision, it looks like. He's going to be fine for the time being. Parasite still going further, but no, now he needs to run as Boo Boo and Wild Soul chasing down. Wild Soul going to be stunned, though. He is in the bear form, but he's not taking enough, apparently. He goes down, and actually, we got a hold here from Revolution.
From Pebbles.
Pebbles does buy back. Oh, yeah, he comes back, and he misses the Stalagmites, though. He completely whiffed it, as now Tundra is going to fall back. Doctor's out of mana, by the way. He does have a token.
He just picked up a Polki as well. He's going to stun in. He got a level search.
This is a huge eruption. Yeah, can he? Oh, he couldn't get a range.
No,
he finally stuns. But that's not good, though. That kill, because now he's coming back with full life and full mana.
God.
And Doctor's going to do plenty here. That's a mistake almost. As Parasite goes down, Tundra's going to fall. Oh, no. So, you know, I noticed that. Well, so I noticed that in the middle of the fight, that it seemed like they were purposely not killing Doctor, and I thought to myself, that's so smart, because he had the token, but then Magnus goes in with the eruption and just finish him off, and then it's like, oh boy, and he comes back with full life, full mana.
That backfired big time. That more or less secured 2 kills. There is a nice level charge. Nephora is gonna fall and probably gonna make the Legion team retreat for now at least, but.
Oh man,
or are they still?
No. They still want to fight this.
Team wants to fight.
Pebbles, he's sticking around. He combos right there, wants a kill. He's going to get one, but it might come at a cost for him now. As, yeah, the Avalanche comes out. Do they have enough damage, though? It doesn't feel like they do, actually. He's going to invest the Puzzle Box minion, but it's not going to be enough. Magnus, I believe he missed the stun right there. Didn't know he had the stun in 1 second. He couldn't get it off, though. He goes down as well, and now Tundra by himself. Silhouette running in. Gets 1 kill. It looks like, no, never mind. Didn't get a kill. He actually has to get out of there, because his teammate dies in the process, so that fight just never ended. It's still not even over, actually, but somehow Reason's actually going to now push and break in the racks when it looked like they were getting pushed out.
Yeah, nice decision there by Masera, turning that fight around with the toss and just Lagamize on 2 people. Definitely the right decision to go back in, and here comes Dr. Repulsor with his newly purchased Icon of the Goddess.
Yeah, it seems like it's over now. I mean, now it's at a point where Reason's just so far ahead with the lineup they have. You just move on to the next game here if you're Revolution. There's really no point. They have an absurd lead with Wild Soul, with War Beast, and a Doctor, and a Pebbles at snowballing. So, good luck. This game's definitely,
Good luck indeed. This is going to be a tough one for the Hellborn team.
This has to be one of the higher GPM games for a team we've seen. I mean, I feel like this is just crazy what we're seeing here from Reason. How they have so much farm amongst so many heroes. 500 plus GPM on 3 heroes. That is something we do not ever see. And yet it's happening here.
It's 21 kills, 90-minute game. So I guess they got a lot of that. And of course, War Beast actually getting a lot of those Battlecry assist gold as well from an action-packed game. So that explains his farm as well as the Suicide hero.
Yeah.
But yeah, Legion team definitely playing really well. Masierna with a DD looking for that jump, and I think this is going to be the Hellborn team's last stand. What the fuck? Yeah, what the hell?
What was that?
There's a spaceship, man!
Oh my god, I think that's a bug, for lack of a better word right there, but that was funky with the new Paris. We'll have to report that one. Anyways, Melee Rax is going down right here. It's in trouble, and it's going to fall. I mean, again, the Hellborn team just does not have the firepower at this point. They're going to attempt to hold, but they just can't. This is reason they didn't even fall back to reset. I mean, they're literally just still going from the push they just had. Parasite's going to fall right there. Caught in the midst of it. Magma's going to go down as well. He couldn't get an eruption off. Champion at Neworth is in with a hat trick. He wants to get the quad kill. He's going to get the quad kill. Oh, never mind, I got the hat trick. Anyways, Conceit comes out. GG, well played. It's just absolute domination in the end by Recent Gaming. After what was a little back and forth start there to game number 1, but it was not a back and forth finish. It was an all Reason finish.
That it was well played, definitely by Recent Gaming. Executing this draft really well once more, making sure that Dr. Pulse is actually rotating around and getting kills rather than sitting in the lane and farm. That was definitely proven to be the right decision there from Immoboy, so credits to him, as well as the entire Recent Gaming squad. It really comes down to the draft, though, I feel, from the Hellborn team. They just weren't prepared. They were all in throughout that early game, and then they had a silhouette last pick versus a